or any LI is subject to the 1992 Constitution. Article 1741 of the 1992 Constitution states, and I read with your permission, no taxation shall be imposed otherwise done by or under the authority of an Act of Parliament. 2. Where an act enacted in accordance with clause 1 of this article confers power on any person or authority to waive or vary a tax imposed by that act, the exercise of the power of waiver or variation in favor of any person or authority shall be subject to the prior approval of this august House of Parliament. I put it on record that the NCA failed to come before this august House in 2015 to approve their schedule of penalties, and that the schedule of penalties as used by the NCA in imposing this charge did not come before this august House of Parliament. And as such, the NCA is carrying out and perpetuating an illegality which this House must stop, because we are versed with upholding the 1992 Constitution. Right Honourable Speaker,
I want to understand you. Which one is NCA applying without coming to this House?
The schedule of penalties that they are using to impose the fines on the houses, on the media houses.
Which is a schedule to what?
Is a schedule of penalties, the schedule of fees.
A schedule is offering to either an LI or an act. So
this schedule was gazetted. This schedule was gazetted on the 25th of April 2015 without coming before this august House. Any fees and charges must be approved by this House.
That was Sam Nate George. At the time, he was Member of Parliament for Ningo Pram Pram. He was not the Minister for Communications, but he was on that committee in Parliament, the Communications Committee in Parliament, 7 years ago, that is. Fast forward to 2025, Helen, what do we know? Has the Minister departed from this earlier position, or is he sticking with it? What has he been doing?
All right, so we know that some 9 radio stations have been shut over regulatory breaches, and there's a notice to go along with that. If you're watching us on Facebook, we've also put those suspended radio stations on the page. Now, these radio stations failed to comply with the 30-day regulatory amnesty, and that was sometime in June. Johnny, shall we go through the list?
Yes, let's go through the
list. All right,
please.
so there's Don Plus Multimedia Limited 105.9, and they're based in Ho. There's Dreams Ghana Media Limited 104.9. Then you've got Jam Multimedia Limited 101.3, New Abibrim, also in Kintampo. There's Jewel Group Limited 102.7 in Duayao in Kwanta. There's Pandai Star Community Radio 107.3 in Pandai. And then in Koko, you've got Unique Gateway Com Limited, and they are 105.7.
That's right. There's also the controversial Wontumi stations. We'll get to that in a bit. Because we'll put that up quickly. Let's pay attention to that.
All right. Also, when it comes to operating without certificates of compliance, unauthorized STL frequencies, and unapproved transmitter locations, you've got 3 under the Wontumi Multimedia Company Limited, 95.9, 101.3, and then 101.3, but one in Kumasi, one in Takrade, 95.9 in Accra.
Interesting, though. So this is where we are now. Somebody made a comment that the criminal libel law is back. Freedom of speech is at risk, and also we do know that some people have also said that, well, this is just to gag the press. Dr. George Siloam Hamilton, JP, is a leading member of Movement for Change and is joined us here in studio. Doc, thank you very much indeed for your time. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me here once again.
What are your thoughts about this decision taken by the National Communication Authority regarding the closure of some radio stations?
Before I share my thoughts on that, let me wish the families that have lost their loved ones in the nation a heartfelt condolences. I was telling someone that it takes someone like the late Dr. Manebuama, a presidential material, dying at the age of 46 years. We've lost a sharp brain. And he's one politician that will tell you as it is. He won't miss words. Though I've not met him in person, but I've followed his communication, and he will tell you as it is. His death comes at the time when he had decided to open a thorough investigation into an alleged ammunitions being moved from the military, the Ghana Armed Forces, to national security in 2024, and it has not been accounted for. So it looks a bit fishy.
Wouldn't you rather wait till the investigations are done?
That's why I'm saying that.
Because the speculations, could mar the investigations.
And so it is very important that the black box has been found. We expect that the investigators will do a thorough investigations into to ascertain what really happened, so that we can put a rest to this matter. And we also want to tell the families that they should take heart. It is not easy. It is not easy losing a loved one, but looking at the circumstances of Manebuama being the only son of the parents and leaving a family behind, it is a tragic one. Not to say that the rest don't matter. They do, because a day losing 8 people, 2 cabinet ministers, a vice chairman, a national vice chairman, a former parliamentary candidate, and military officers. It is not something that we should be happy about. We are all crying. We are weeping within ourselves. But we need to move forward and make sure things are done well. So as we move on, we want them to do the right thing. It should not be the same old story. Then we'll sweep the outcome of the investigation under the carpet and we say, I think all is all well, then we move. No, we shouldn't do that. We should go beyond the investigation. If there is anyone to be prosecuted, the law should take its course, and then we put the matter to rest. That is what I can say for now, because I'm listening to, and then Dr. Mutala, I chanced on his interview that every morning when he wakes up, he thinks about death. Doesn't mean he was preparing himself. At every point in time, I've always said that when day breaks and I find myself in another day, I'll live my life as if that is the only day for me to live on earth, because anything can happen. And so we should be very careful, and let's serve our God and serve him well. The Al-Ajia that read a tribute to him and eulogizing him, you could really read in between the lines that she was really finding it very difficult to speak out the words. It tells you we have lost great minds, and so we should be careful how we treat our people. These people, some of us insulted them in the name of politics, and now they are no more. We are putting on mourning faces to go and mourn them. We have to accept humans as we are, and the Lord himself will take us through to wherever we have to, because there's end to everything. Johnny, with the NCA's directive, in one word, I'll say it is the right thing they have done. Because Ghana, it seems like everybody wants to do what pleases him or her. How would you say that you are an entity, you are working, and you will not abide by the rules and regulations that governs your institution? And before, it's today that some of the clergy, they don't have licenses. to operate. Do you know before you become a priest, you must be gazetted and have a license to operate?
That's right.
Good. I sit here, I'm a licensed, a gazetted minister, internationally recognized, gazetted here in Ghana as well. So I will not sit in a vacuum and say, oh, it is God that has called me to do his work. And so I don't need licenses. Someone must regulate your movement, how you do your things. You cannot just be operating in a vacuum. Now, going to me, I don't want to use this word because it looks too big in my mouth to say. Do you know what the word I'm talking about?
I don't know.
You don't know? Helen, you know that?
No idea.
Oh.
English word or?
Yes.
No idea.
When we were in school, we used to quote, if someone wants to be on your nerves, and you say, "Who born dog?" Now Helen, why? Now the who born dog
Sunrise on 3
is now being tamed.
Best in the morning.
See, regulations are regulations. We need to comply. I don't think 3FM will be still on air when you don't have the license to operate. NCA would definitely come after you. And what the question I'm asking myself is this: why did it take this too long? Was it because the MPP was in power, so Wontumi TV was untouchable? The Wontumi media houses, they were untouchable? That they had to operate for all these years without complying to the rules and the regulations governing the media houses. The NCA incited that they are operating at an unapproved locations. Meaning that it's today I'm hearing that before you cite a media house or you want to operate a media channel, you have to have a specific location.
Right.
Before you can. Now today, come to our various houses, our offices, our church, in our bedrooms. All we need is a microphone and then a good phone with a good camera pixel. Then you are good to go. We have to be checking all this. The NCA have to be checked. I'm not trying to say that by so doing they will be trampling upon the rights of the citizens. But at the end of the day, you realize that today social media is becoming one of the tools for notorious acts, blaspheming, blackmailing people all over. And so when you are if you are a public figure or someone who is that influential, sometimes you are so scared. Someone sent me a friendship request, a follow-up on Instagram. Not Instagram, TikTok. Then he started, do you know the name he's using? Ibrahim Mahama. And so when I probed him more, I said, what do you want me to do for you? I started asking him questions and I realized that it is not Ibrahim Mahama. That is a certain president's junior brother, right? So why would someone do that? So I believe that it is time that the NCA will have to crack the whip. It's not only the minister who has to do it. The regulators must enforce the law. So if Wontumi has fall into that category, then I believe that the law must take its course.
I hear you. Please hold your horses. Let's go into the phone line and speak with Mr. Cecil Sonkamels. He is president of the Ghana Independent Broadcasters Association. Giba, good morning, sir. Many thanks for your time.
Good morning, Sir Johnny, and good morning to your listeners.
Great. Now, the National Communication Authority has cracked the whip on 9 media houses. First of all, how did Giba receive this news?
Johnny, this actually is no longer news because I think we started from February when the first 5 stations were disconnected, were taken off.
Right.
And we had a long discussion. And then came the second suite, which was about a month and a half, 2 months ago. And with that one, if we all do remember, there was a specific clemency which was given by the president.
That's right.
30 days.
That's right.
And we engaged a lot of stations. Were on some of your platforms, and we opened doors. We reached out to stations who needed help. And in fact, some stations did come through to give back. And we actually pointed them to the right officers or offices within the NCA to sort out whatever issues they had left, the gaps. So those who reached out or those who went directly, you can see a number of stations that actually make the effort. So with the third announcement, in fact, we had been watching and waiting and checking because we knew that 30 days had passed, but we didn't know which stations were found foul till the announcement was made. So it actually is not a surprise. It is not a surprise. We knew it was coming. The clemency had been given, so there's no surprise here.
Are these 9 stations under your umbrella, Mr. Sunku Mills?
Yeah, unfortunately, the 9 stations are not members of our association. However, like we always say, we are always interested in the space, especially for all stations. So if they've got the members and there are issues that we need to speak about, we do.
Now, if you look at the NCA's release, they're talking about violation of the law, unapproved transmitter sites, etc. What does it take for people to be emboldened to that point where they know that there is a regime or a space that is governed by law, but we will sidestep the law and do what we please? What could have emboldened them, do you know?
I think if you're going to run a business within an environment and there are regulations, I don't think anything should embolden you not to follow the regulations. So that is a tough part of the question, because if anybody has done an investment and there are rules and regulations, it is important that you go by it. If you have faulted and you have been alerted, you have to remedy it within the specific time and within the expected parameters. So in this case, there's not much to say at this stage. We noticed that the stations, especially, I think Wontumi has written to the NCA.
Right.
And what I mentioned in other interviews is that is one side of the story. So they need to allow NCA to give a response to the specifics that they have written, that they may have covered. We've seen cases where, in the last case before the amnesty, there was a station that had actually done a payment, but the payment didn't have the right narration.
Right.
So the payment could not be identified. So it is possible to say, you have done A, B, and C. But then if they drill into the specifics, they may find that, yes, you have done it, or you have actually not done it. So I say we should hold brief and let the NCA also come through with a response. And then we take it on from there. But as it stands now, the NCA has made this determination, and we'll see the responses from the stations.
Some have called this a return of the criminal libel law and gagging of the press. What do you say to that?
When you actually do not meet the requirement to get into the business of media, then you are not gagged. If you are on you're online as a person, then you're free to speak within the confines of that. But there's a clear process that if you want to do this business, this is the process. Let's remember that the dividend for broadcasting is limited. Therefore, there's a regulator. So you must jump on under certain specific parameters to make sure it is organized. And I guess that is what we need. So I do not take it that it's not close to the libel law issue.
If the NCA decides to apply the rules to the latter, and strictly so, do you foresee a lot more stations being shut down for non-compliance?
Johnny, they had a long list, and we have tried to. They have reached out and tried to clean up and make sure that's compliant. So it is an ongoing process, and like some of our members would say, or they would tell you, that it's one of the things that we make sure that once you're operating as an authorized media entity by the National Communication Authority, you must make sure you are compliant. I mean, things as simple as your fire certificate, your taxes are paid, your SNIT for your workers. That's the number of things, but it's important because at the end of the day, we have to make sure that the media entities are also compliant and of high quality as much as possible. So as the NCA, what we would say is that we hope that after this, we have brought all stations up to the level that they should be in terms of compliance. And then they would monitor from that point to make sure that these massive issues do not happen in the future.
For people who want to get into media business going forward, the uninitiated, what will be your strongest advice to them?
I think all the requirements are available. If you are not sure, you can reach the NCA directly. They have regional offices. If you're not sure, if you reach out to us as Ghana Independent Broadcasters Association with a consent for that, we will point you to the right desk or office, even if you do not have in your region or you are not sure. But don't listen to somebody. The offices are available, they are contactable, and even clear booklets that they have done that will actually guide you. It's quite a lot. You can see there are also a lot of stations that are actually compliant. So it is doable if you want to get into the space. But remember that it is a business. Yes, it is media, but it is a business. And you must make sure that, like any other business, you follow and you are compliant. Gives you a lot of relief. That is my message from New Station.
Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Cecil Thomas Sonquamils, President of GIBA. We're grateful that you could speak with us this morning.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Great. Let me take you again back to 7 years ago. This was then Minister for Information, Kojo Oppong-Nkrumah. This was at the time when Radio Gold, Radio XYZ had been shut down. Listen to him.
Media continues to remain free to operate in Ghana today. The practice of media is not restricted to any particular channel or platform. Indeed, in accordance with the dictates of the Constitution, and I think we've been at pains to try and explain this over and over again, you can practice media freely. Nobody has a problem with you. It is only when you want to use electronic spectrum and frequency that you apply to NCA for spectrum or, in some specific instance, frequency. So you have internet service providers who use that same frequency. You have other organizations like the airlines, etc., who also use spectrum and frequency. Anybody who's using spectrum or frequency must go to the NCA for the NCA to give you a particular band to be on and must renew your authorization to stay on that one. If you do not do that, and the NCA says that for that reason, or now the tribunal says that you have relinquished your frequency or your spectrum, that is not about press freedom. And I think that you all have to help us to explain things to various stakeholders properly. That is not about press freedom. There are many media houses that are operating and not using spectrum or frequency. In this instance, I think the point is that these specific spectrum users, and indeed it's my understanding that there are other spectrum users who are not even radio stations who in times past have had their own challenges with the spectrum or the frequency that they are using, and the NCA has to take action on them in their own space. So this is not about press freedom. This is about spectrum and frequency.
So there you have former Minister for Information, Kojo Oppong Nkrumah. So I come back to you, Doc, in studio. You heard both gentlemen, Mr. Sonko Mills, and if you like, way back into time, Kojo Oppong Nkrumah saying that closing down a station has nothing to do with press freedom. What do you say?
Exactly. I side with them because at the end of the day, just as I said earlier on, in any organization, there are rules and regulations to follow. You have to comply. And so, to me, they have made the right call. I'll be so indifferent to Kojo Oppong Nkrumah when he comes out to say otherwise or to refute what he has said earlier on, that it is a sabotage to freedom of speech, of free to air. So he should stay by what he has said. He should not retract what he said, because Ghanaians will still measure him by what he's saying. You understand? And so that is how it's supposed to be. Now, I checked the amount of money Wontumi Media will have to pay. That's 22,330 cedis. Is it a money to Wontumi? That's a chicken change.
Why are you asking Helen? She won't know.
She was just staring straight into my eyes.
Okay. So that's why you asked. Okay.
I thought the amount was going to be something
in the millions.
I was expecting a different fee. So when you said 22,330, I was quite surprised by that. I know the lawyer for Wontumi Multimedia.
Lawyer Apia Kubi.
Yes, former
it's
MP.
Actually a lawyer for Wontumi, not Wontumi Multimedia.
Okay, I see. That's how they carried it in the Daily Graphic. They said lawyer for Wontumi Multimedia. I suppose Wontumi Multimedia will be a separate entity in this.
That's right.
Exactly.
So it's captured as such. He had some varying responses to this, but I'm not too sure if he attached the paperwork. I also listened to him briefly on another media station. So I think to put an end to this back and forth, we've complied, we've not complied, would be to present that documentation. And surely that shouldn't be difficult to do.
That's right. So that it registers. It's easier that way.
So if you are now, when Dr. Miles was speaking, he made mention of it that they are not part of the JIBA.
That's right. They are not part of.
They are not part.
Yeah.
But you see, they've gone the extra mile to protect even those who are not members of their organization. So it tells you that there's a clear case of responsibility here.
Right.
No, you don't belong to me, but I want you to know that I am with you. Whatever you are doing, I am with you. I want you to be on air. I want you to speak to people. I want people to communicate with you, and you also communicate with the masses, but do the right thing. And he emphasized on that they must do the right thing. So moving forward, they should find a way of going back to NCA and not threatening to go to court and to sue them for violating of rights. It is neither here nor there. They should go back to the NCA. And moreover, it is not only Wontumi Multimedia.
Right.
There are other stations in Diankwanta,
in Ho,
and other places. Do you know the reason why Wontumi Media is in the news?
We don't know. Tell us.
It's because of his some of his statements. His doings, actions and inactions on air and not on air. And some of his presenters or hosts that host his programs.
Right.
I cited an apology that has been issued.
We understand that gentleman has been sacked. The manager was on air to say that he's been sacked because of some of the unsavory comments he made about the helicopter crash.
It is. They did it at the wrong time. Because if you can recall, it has been it's like a norm in with the Wontumi Media, especially Wontumi TV. Sometimes you sit behind the TV or in front of the TV and you are watching and listening to some of the comments that they pass. You ask yourself, where they get their information from? Where is the source? And they are not able to authenticate it. And then they come back and tell, oh, we are sorry. Must we continue? No. So to me, the NCA should do the right thing. If they have suspended them, yes, let it be there. The suspension should stay. And I don't want it to look like a favoritism or sabotaging any media house. Whatever they have to do, they must do it. Crack the whip and let it be.
For some people on the streets, they may assume that, look, Buntumi has had his own set of problems with Yoko, CID in recent time. That matter is yet to be concluded. Yes. And now this. Some will think that he is being targeted.
Politically tagged.
Do you get that sense as well?
I don't. Because you are making money out of the work you are doing, and you have to pay. You have to pay for the air you are occupying, the spectrum. Yes, so you have to pay. So why are you not paying? Do you know the reason why some of these public institutions are bedeviled with debts? So, let me use the word saddled with debts. Go to ECG. There are so many hospitals owing them. Government institutions owing them, and at the end of the day, we'll be asked to pay the consumers. We have to pay for the debt that is being accumulated. I pay for prepaid, and then you tell me that I need to pay extra because someone is owing and refusing to pay. This is unacceptable and it's uncalled for. Go to Parliament, they owe ECG. The last time I checked, about 16 hospitals owing ECG about $20 million.
That's quite an amount.
Yes, of course. So if all these institutions are paying, the hospitals alone are paying, will the government have the nerve to tell us that he's charging one CD? Yes, there are more on the list. They should clean up the system. And that will help sanitize the media space for all of us.
Helen, do you also see press freedom being, pushed in there? Because it does appear that on social media, that's the narrative that some people have taken on and they are pushing. You live on X. What have you been observing from that quarter?
That's certainly a direction that this conversation has taken, especially when you go back to 2019, and the Daily Graphic also captures what happens then, and they cite the example of Radio Gold, Radio XYZ. These stations were also shut down for operating without valid authorizations in line with a ruling from the Electronic Communications Tribunal. Now, the rules are the rules. I think we've all come to agree that that's just the way that it is. You have to follow the rules, you have to follow the regulations. I don't see that being the case. Although listening to Doc, when he made that reference, who born dog, I was trying to see whether there was some... I don't know. I was trying to decode what exactly he meant by that, especially because he cited Buntumi Multimedia. But an infraction is an infraction. Although the lawyers seem to be given some reasons as to why there have been lapses, we wait and see. Also, that apology that came from Buntumi Media. I've gone on X and I see that there appears to be some retractions. So even that is not too clear. Whether or not it was an official apology, it seems as though, some persons want to backtrack. It's not looking good.
It's not looking good. Well, we'll take a break. But first, listen to Dr. Reku Brobe. He's been an advocate for, if you will, not getting a license before you can broadcast. And he's been very strong on that for a very, very long time. 3 years ago, we spoke with him. He says he's disappointed at the time that radio stations have been closed down under President Akufo-Addo, who was his lawyer when he was fighting the system for his own radio station. But he says he's not surprised. Listen.
Was to see the Akufo-Addo presidency actually close down radio stations. I think it's the most terrible thing, given that Akufo-Addo was the lawyer for the Independent Media Corporation of Ghana, Radio Eyes operators, and we fought for the independence of the media, etc., etc. So I didn't expect that one of the big architects of media pluralism and independence will, under their presidency, shut down voices opposed to their kind of idea.
However, the lawyers for the NCA had indicated on multiple occasions that these entities had violated the regulatory
talking
framework.
About the NCA, that is the biggest pusher against freedom,
But do you disagree that they didn't pay their levies, they didn't renew their licenses, something they're supposed to do year on year, and all that?
That is not the issue. The institution that should have dealt with them is not the NCA. You see, if you look at the UNESCO definition of freedom of independence, or independence of the media, they said it must be free of governmental control. The NCA is a government agency with a minister, political control. That is why the Constitution, in its wisdom, actually set up a National Media Commission. It is an illegality that out of Radio I, the government, the Rawlings government, under Tutu Kwachi passed the law, not knowing that that law will even come and bite their own people later on. We will push again to ensure that what the Constitution intended actually is done, and that the NCA has hijacked the discretionary power to decide who goes on air using its technical management of our frequencies.
The best in the morning is on 92.7 Sunrise on 3 FM.
Thank you very much indeed for joining us. We've been joined in the studio by lawyer Theophilus Jimega Jr., a private legal practitioner. He's also a member of the NDC. Today is his birthday. Dr. Hamilton is also here. Counsel, good morning.
Good morning.
And a happy birthday to you.
Thank you very much.
Yes. When we close, you'd give us your Momo number and we'll do you fine.
Oh.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Helen, why do you want to break tradition? It's his birthday. It's Momo is in order.
Say less.
Yes. So we'll do it. Counsel, welcome.
Thank you.
Now, the NCA has cracked the whip. Good time, bad time. Is it fair?
Good morning to your listeners wherever they are at the moment. Yes, we've had the situations in this country where radio stations have been closed. You mentioned that of Dr. Wireku Brobe.
Right.
In fact, we'll say he was the one who broke the grounds for private radio station.
That's right.
When he started with, I think, Radio I.
Yes, Radio I.
Then I think Radio Gold came in, those one of the early days. And I was wondering, how did they even know this man had a radio station? Because we never knew how a radio station would look like.
That's right.
Until you can say that, the antennas, etc. Yes. And he said... he felt sad that radio stations were closed.
Yes.
But that was before the regulations were enacted.
That's correct.
Now, the regulations have been enacted to control and coordinate and regulate the affairs of radio stations. And these things were not enacted without the input from the National Media Commission. So, when the announcement came about a month ago that these radio stations and TV stations were going to be shut, we heard the president coming in to say, hold on, sit down with them, get these things resolved.
Right.
In fact, they all had the opportunity to get some of these things resolved. And you would have thought that they would have resolved them, but they've not been resolved. So for me, the timing couldn't have come at any better time. Couldn't have come at any better time than this. See, one of our problems in this part of the world is indiscipline. Somewhere along the line, someone has to crack the whip and say, let's do it correctly. And once we begin to do it correctly, this is unlike the previous ones where there were... let me use the word application or petition, or there were pleas made to the president then to say, can you let them lift the ban so that allow these radio stations to operate? Certain radio stations were off air over a year.
That's right.
But they are surviving today. I only genuinely hope that the stations that have been closed will take steps to correct whatever the situations are. And if you look at it, it appears to be only one particular type of radio stations or a group of radio stations that are in this category. Whatever their problems are, if they cannot handle the frequencies, perhaps they can lease them or give them back to...
There are those who are suggesting political witch hunting because of Wuntumi Multimedia, that you've shut down his radio station in Accra, in Kumasi, and then also in Takoradi. And they say, look, this is too coincidental. What do you say?
Wuntumi stations were not the only ones originally, let me use the word, taken off. There were others also in the basket.
That's right, 6 others.
Yes, but they have since corrected their issues or whatever the issues are. The whole idea of the regulation of the radio stations and frequencies and the payment, etc., must be looked at again. 3FM pays similar for licensing.
That's right.
As maybe Lukusi FM in Golokwatini in Afajato South. And 3FM can run just one jingle for Lawyer TK and make some money. They will run the same jingle for a year before maybe coming to, for the sake of argument.
Right.
Yes, so for some reason, maybe the private radio operators, if they have an association or Print Park or one of these or GJ, whatever it is, you say, yes, let us sit down and start to see how some of these things are regulated. And of course, a number of them had radio licenses that are for community radio stations where they are not supposed to literally make money.
That's right.
But they have to survive. They have to pay the electricity bill. They have to pay the technicians, etc.
Right.
So invariably, they end up running adverts and jingles and making money. Whether they are able to break even is another one for another discussion.
Right.
So I think that once you are in the field, play by the rules. If the law says that this is how we all we all need to go. Let us go by that. Simple as that.
Interesting. Now, the conversation also around press freedom. I'm sure you've also heard people push that argument that the criminal libel law is back and it's coming through the back door, and we're using the NCA as a country to intimidate political opponents. What are your thoughts?
Then I don't think the people were in the country the last 8 years. Yes, if they had been in the country, I hate to equalize, but you must stand on a certain moral ground to be able to make some of this assertion. I mean, the National Media Commission, to me, appears a bit more powerful than Shraj. Sometimes when even they are able to hold governments by the scruff of the neck to say, you can't do this. Where's the National Media Commission? The criminal libel law is not what we are seeing today. I remember it vividly. I mean, yesterday I was using the name of our good old senior, Albert Bosom-Chisam.
Right.
He was one of the lawyers for Nana Konedu those times in some of those cases. And I remember him like this morning. We are not in that era. We have all moved on. But you see, press freedom doesn't mean no responsibility. Press freedom doesn't mean no barriers. I mean, you have seen or you might have heard some of the audios and videos on TikTok, social media going around about this crash, about the president, the wife, the first lady, etc. Just because we are enjoying press freedom, you cannot. Let's assume that the days when Donald Trump survived the assassination attempt, the following morning you post on TikTok that if I get Donald Trump, I will assassinate him. I bet you would have been somewhere today.
Yeah.
They won't take it lightly.
That's right.
That you were just joking. But in our part of the world, people are beginning to laugh at it to say that, oh, he's just joking. People are making mockery of everything. But there has to be cracking of the whip. The responsibility and discipline somehow must. Unfortunately, that's how I've been brought up to know that privileges must come with responsibilities.
That's correct.
And responsibilities must come with privileges. They are both interchangeable. So for me, if it is press freedom, do it within the confines of the law. And let me use your platform to say, somehow I was appalled by some of... I never watched any of the videos of the crash because I was using denial.
Okay.
I want to avoid the whole thing.
In denial.
Yes, I was totally.
That's the first point of grieving.
Oh,
denial.
And when I am stressed, I sleep a lot. Okay. So I knew Wednesday afternoon I slept, and until the president was about to address the nation when I saw one or two videos, and I'm like, oh, is that it? So I left the place. I said, let me be in my room until I begin to hear him talk. I can come out. But somewhere the media must take responsibility as well to say some of the things we showed to the public, we shouldn't have shown to the public. I mean, assuming that for crying out loud, King Charles was involved in this accident, you think the British press would have shown it this way? No, they wouldn't have.
No.
Yes, we learn from the best in class. 2 years or 3 years ago, when the South Sudanese president was addressing, and I think he wet himself, he was all over. You think the British or the Americans would have done? No, they would not have done that. So let us learn from the best in class. And I don't know whether our media houses have the delayed transmission system where they have like 30 seconds or close to a minute delay, so that somebody can filter some of these things and say that let's not do it. That day I was going home and I had somebody on a station. I don't want to mention, the English was quite poor to me. He was crashing the helicopter, and yes, and he said the minister would not like to talk. And the question he asked the minister is, how are you feeling? Come on.
Brofo Basa.
Me, even on my birthday, how am I feeling about that crash? How is the minister? You mean the minister should tell you that I feel like going to eat cake and have some drink? No. So somewhere along the line, as the media house too, we should not see ourselves running into the gutter of wayside social media content creator or blogger, etc. And if you look at the message put out by the Ghana Armed Forces last night, they tried to mention almost everybody they feel is involved in this.
We'll get to that statement in a bit. Helen, you have to assist us to.
Certainly.
This is from the Ghana Armed
along
Forces.
the line, we should also be responsible as media men in some of these things and be disciplined.
Right. Thank you very much, Council Kojo Jimega.
Yes.
Helen, help us with the statement.
Certainly. So this was issued yesterday. Ghana Armed Forces urges the media to be circumspect in their reportage over the military helicopter crash. The attention of the Ghana Armed Forces has been drawn to many speculative and unsubstantiated commentaries regarding the recent Air Force Z-9 helicopter crash in the Ashanti region, which claimed all 8 lives on board. For the sake of the bereaved families and loved ones, the Armed Forces urges media practitioners, panelists, social commentators, bloggers, and content creators to be circumspect in their reportage as a way of according respect to the memories of the fallen heroes and to mitigate the sorrows of the bereaved families. For the sake of the bereaved families and loved ones, the Armed Forces urges media practitioners. Okay, we've gone through that. The Armed Forces wishes to acknowledge the immense public interest in the accident, assuring that painstaking investigations have begun to unravel the cause of the crash. The Armed Forces will do everything possible, including collaborating with international agencies to bring closure to the incident. At this point in time, any purported conclusions based on opinions, perceptions, and conjectures will be premature and misleading. The public is therefore advised to be wary of such reportage. The Ghana Armed Forces is grateful to the government, institutions, and many individuals for their support. Once again, the Ministry of Defense, the Military High Command, and the entire Ghana Armed Forces extends its condolences to the bereaved families. May the souls of our patriots continue to rest in peace. All right, and that has been signed VAR Hind, Captain, Ghana Navy, Acting Director General, Public Relations.
In fact, so a captain in the Ghana Navy would be the equivalent of a colonel in the army. Yeah, so it's not captain as you see, but this is a colonel, if you will. So naval captain, that's what they are called. But
yeah, those times there were few.
Yes, they like to be very modest.
Yes.
Yes. Doc, let me come to you. This is what the Ghana Armed Forces has said. You look at the reportage so far and the public interest and people making all manner of unsavory comments. In fact, 2 people have been picked up by the police for even going beyond ridiculing the death of the individuals, the 8 gallant men, to also even suggest that they will kill the president and behead his wife. This is Ghana. When did we become this?
Johnny, I'm so sad to the core, because when we get to this point because we have lost our core values as humans.
Sunrise
as young as I was growing up, way back in Cape Coast, Dakar, and other parts of this country, hardly will you see a child standing to an elderly person. We grew up in the days when OSA was available. You walk into the car.
You mean the OSA bus?
Yes.
We were telling Helen about it the other time. She didn't believe that we used to have buses that were numbered, that actually have their own routes that worked.
Are you trying to say Helen is a...
No, I didn't say. She has not lived here with us for long. She just go back into town.
Okay.
That's why Brofo is a racist like that.
Ours is... Picking.
E11 is a perfume rice.
When you see an elderly person entering, you have to get up, vacate your seat for that elderly person to sit, whether you have paid or not.
That's right.
And in those days, you have to pay. No matter whether you're a child or not, you have to pay. Your parents will give you the money. You will get up or vacate your seat for the elderly person to sit. You meet an elderly person on the way to the farm or coming from the farm, carrying firewood, you will want to carry that joy. All you want to hear is that, God bless you, Menana. God bless you, you are blessed. Which home do you come from? I said, as for these people, they are very respectful.
Right.
But in our days, the Gen Zs and the AI children, they are not like that. They want to rub shoulders. What gives that person the nerves to say that I will kill the president and behead his wife?
He was not alone, by the way. He was on TikTok. It was a TikTok live. So
you see why I said that?
A great crowd of conspirators, if you like. Let me call them.
You see why I said the NCA should not only be looking at the traditional media houses, they should go beyond that. TikTok, and they gave the Ghana Armed Forces give 5 categories of people that they have. They spoke to the media houses, the bloggers, the content creators, all in the name of content creating, insulting elders, vilifying them. I have seen people vilifying ministers of state, and I asked them on platforms, if this person happened to be your father, your uncle, or from a relative, will you do what you are doing to that person? You won't do it. You won't dare. So to me, if they have been picked, the law should deal with them, because that is lawyer. Will you call that treason?
Yes, that's
a treasonable offense.
Yes. A treasonable offense.
Collapse the government for us. If you kill the president, what happens?
You have collapsed the government.
Yeah. So they should be, the government.
The president shouldn't intervene
at all
by saying the human face or he.
But he's the father for all.
That if we continue to do this, then it means that we are going to live we're going to call Ghana a banana republic? Everyone does what pleases him. Then, okay, let me also start and say some things. Would that be okay? It won't. So the law must be applied. They should be sanctioned. Whatever the law prescribes for a high treasonable offense should be dealt with, and so that we can be able to sanitize the system. Hey, to take a human life, attempting to kill is what, lawyer? You can.
It's the same thing.
It's
the same thing as murder.
So the New Patriotic Party has just issued a statement from the youth wing of the parties dated 13th August 2025. Says National Youth Wing condemns arrest of Fante Comedy AY and Sir Obama Pokwasi. The National Youth Wing of the New Patriotic Party has noted with disdain the arrest and detention of 2 TikTokers yesterday over a viral video, as well as the arrest of Sir Obama Pokwasi, a social media activist, this morning. We are shocked that a serious establishment like the Ghana Police Service will waste resources to arrest and detain young citizens who, out of exuberance, made comments deemed unsuitable for the moment. These social media activists, like all of us, acknowledge the grief that has gripped the nation. These social media activists have no actionable ability to cause any harm, nor intend to do so, except for their comments, which, however unsavory, are opinions they are entitled to. We need not remind the Ghana Police that freedom of speech is guaranteed in the country for all citizens, and that the partisan approach being adopted by the current security system of the state is very worrisome. The current IGP, who was a deputy IGP under the erstwhile NPP administration, should know that there are plethora of more, if not worse, reckless comments and videos of NDC activists that has his outfit tolerated. Why the intolerance today? Why is the malicious treatment of all persons who identify with the NPP the new ish for the security setup? Is it a deliberate attempt to intimidate us? The Ghana Police Service should not be a wimp for the executive. Your motto is service with integrity. So we ask you, where is the integrity you speak of? Ghana Police Service on the 11th of July, there was a violent attack on a former Minister of State and MP for Awutu Senya East, Honorable Howard Kumsing, Deputy National Organizer of the NPP Chris Lloyd, and other members of the NPP by known attackers during the Ablekuma North constituency rerun. You have woefully failed to do your work to arrest and prosecute them because they are NDC members. They are walking free men. Yet you arrest harmless youth for just a social media conversation. This is shamelessly biased and absolutely partisan. We strongly condemn these arrests. It flies in the face of our democratic ethos. We demand the unconditional and immediate release of Fante Comedy, AY, and Sir Obama Pokwasi. Thank you. Signed by Salam Mustafa, National Youth Organizer Council. This is what your opposite numbers or a number on the political field are saying. What say you?
before I come to that, let me address the Ghana Armed Forces release.
That's right.
You see, we currently live in a Gen Z generation where they need information as it is trickling in. And if you create a vacuum, they'll fill that vacuum for you by their content. That's what the content creators do. So instead of issuing one pager a day, after 3 days, another one pager, we have the social media handles of the Ghana Armed Forces.
Right.
Almost all credible organizations have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, X, all of them. They are doing, what stops them from feeding and getting? You can go to a certain level and say, this is where we will reach until any other information comes. Take this for now. If you have any further questions, you can send it to our X handle, or you could have a day or an afternoon and engage a lot of people. But if they leave it that way, I understand one of my guys sent me a message that it is very difficult communicating with the politicians. Whatever the difficulty is, whether it's from the armed forces or from the politicians, somehow let's use this opportunity to bridge that gap and remove that vacuum. Now, the release from the MPP guys, I was just told that another one was picked. That's called
Obama and Pokwasi.
Obama Pokwasi. And
I know him personally.
Okay. Then advise him next time that he shouldn't be putting out. He shouldn't be putting out.
I don't know what he has done.
No, they said he according to Daily Guide, he put in wild allegations that there were some guns under the guidance of some police officers being spearheaded by IGP to use it for something else. Help us to unravel such a thing. Again, responsibility. You cannot. I expect that MPP should have. You see, after the incident, they all appear to tone down. They are measuring. They all need to speak with certain measurement of public perception and reaction. The big people. And even where they see the younger ones who want to go astray, they want to rein them in quickly and say, hey, let's do it this way. But for you to have issued such a statement, somebody who says that I can kill the president, I can behead the first lady, and you say they don't have the ability.
Say it was made out of youthful exuberance.
Yes, so they should be arrested to tame the youthful exuberance. So that the Bible says, guide them properly, spare the rod, and spoil the child. So let them be guided properly. And you see, it is not just about the capacity. Yes, the capacity might come in, or capability might come in when they get to court. But the intention. Do they have, once you envisage the intention, the law will stretch it to say that you can do it. That is why you are coming out of that. Even if they don't charge them for attempted murder, etc. Now, breach of peace is there. Threats and of life, they can even charge them for this one causing fear and panic.
Right.
And all these are there. I believe that at least let them arraign them before court today. I am one person who is an advocate of bail, but this particular one, maybe for police investigation, it should be kept for a week, and the police should do the proper investigation.
They should be kept for a week.
Usually, it's about 2 weeks.
Yes. But do they have the capacity to do what
we will not know now. When they started the Agojo trial,
right?
You remember they said some of the guns that were brought in cannot even be used to kill
the bread knife
and things. But after a number of years of trial, people were convicted, isn't it?
That's right.
Yes. So it is not at this age, this early stage, that we know whether they have the capacity or not. Are they fronting for somebody? We don't know. Is it that they throw it in there for us to see how the reaction will be? Nobody knows. So
I told the lady, the AY lady, is an executive in the Volta region.
Yes, I read the name Yayura Abiu.
That's right.
Yes, I haven't tried to Google which constituency, but that is beside the point. Once you are misbehaving, look. Again, I give you that example that assuming when Donald Trump survived the assassination attempt, and you just put on your blog that if I get the president, I'll kill him. By the time they are trying to arrest you, I'm sure they will kill you. Yeah, they won't wait to ask themselves whether you have the capability or not. The guy who fired the gun, who knew he had the capability? He only posted things on a website, and boom, he fired gun and killed 2 people and nearly killed the current president. So we cannot just say that whether they have the ability or not. That is something which the court will determine. But at this stage, I don't want them to make them martyrs as well, so that they will become celebrities out of this. There must be punishment commensurate properly with what they've done.
Is that not what the statement is trying to do, to make them celebrities? That they should be released unconditionally with immediate effect?
That is precisely what they want to do. So if these ones are dealt with leniently, you are going to have a spring of others coming in to say, hey, they did this. And again, even if the persons are just your uncles and they are not the first family of this country, let's respect them properly. You saw the reaction of Mrs. Rebecca Akufo-Addo during the last SONA?
That's right.
You saw her reaction,
right? After the Dr. Kofi Boah had made his closing, she was not happy.
She was not happy. That is how the Mahama family will be feeling today. Okay, so if then it wasn't good, it shouldn't be good now. And you saw how when Dr. Kofi Boah was being vetted, or was even being, they were taking votes on the vetting report. Right. He said that they wanted him to withdraw the thing that he said that day against the president. Now, these are people who might not have the opportunity to withdraw. There should be a way for them to do the needful. Then those who are supposed to know better are issuing this type of statement. They should bow their heads in shame, man.
Doc, this is Salam, who used to work at the office of the vice president. In fact, he was the man in charge of the office. And then he's also the national youth organizer of the NPP. And he says that these people made these comments out of useful exuberance, even though the statement was inappropriate, but they should be released and not be held. What do you think?
I want to take us to days back.
On 3FM, the best.
You remember the late Ahmed Swale?
That's right.
You see, the intent, you even thinking about it, it is quite something else. And then bringing your intent out, that's what you intend to do. You said it. Now, before Ahmed Swale's murder, Kennedy Japan had revealed the journalist's identity on national television.
That's correct, on Net2 TV.
Yes. And made several statements that some interpreted as threats. And these are the things I want us to look at. He revealed his identity on TV,
Net2 TV.
Net2 TV, and warned Ghanaians about the journalist's alleged tactics, that anyone that sees him, they should beat him up. Few days, the young man died. That is what I always say that Kennedy is not credible to me.
Don't go there.
Sunrise on
Let's focus on this one.
The best in the morning.
This is the statement he made was a threatening message. And this one is the same. Kennedy was left off hook. Later he came and said that he didn't ask anybody to beat him or to murder him or to kill him. But at the end of the day, his statements probably urged some people on to murder that guy, kill him at his prime age. It's the same statement that has been issued here. What wasn't right then shouldn't be right today, if it is wrong today. You see, when you read the Bible says that we have replaced good with evil. And by so doing, we have made evil look like good. And curse is such a person. And curse is a nation that makes evil good and made good evil. I'll end with that.
I don't understand. Usually when pastors, when you quote stuff, you explain further. Why have you decided not to explain?
What I'm trying to say is that in the days when Kennedy made the statements, it was condemned. So why is it that this one, they don't want it to be condemned and be treated as such?
That's your issue?
Yes.
I see.
So we should not condone it that, out of youthful exuberances, they made the statement. Hey, you be condemned or be justified by your words. And it's their words that have given them out. Remember,
What harm could possibly come to the president with all the security around him and his wife, the first lady?
Johnny, U.S. is more sophisticated. They have all the accoutrements. They have all the ammunitions to protect their president. Even that one, Donald Trump suffered. He had a cat.
He was nearly killed.
He was nearly killed. And you are talking, you are asking Ghana. Go to various homes. There are people who have guns unregistered. There are people who have machete. These are some of the things that is happening in Mboko that we are not having a lasting solutions to it. And you say, the first gentleman of the land, I will take his, hey, Master, don't go there. Don't go there. If it were to be any other country, all their family members will be picked up for investigation. Just as my brother said concerning Abuja, right?
Right. No, Agojo.
Agojo.
Yes.
For almost about 5 years or 8 years.
It's about 4 years.
4 years. They were on trial consistently.
In fact, some died along the way. Dr. Leo McPalm died.
Yes, McPalm died.
Yes, along the way.
These guys, are they better than them? When Mahama's government was being formed, this same Obama sent messages across. Oh, the Alan Chemantin has been appointed as a director of 24-hour economy. Meanwhile, Gusitano had already been appointed as the one who is responsible. And some of us, we had a very difficult refuting the statement. You meet people, oh, your father has been appointed. Mahama has given, we told you he's working for Mahama. And it was like, how?
So misinformation and disinformation.
Exactly so.
I see.
And so the law should take it due course.
You see, counsel, when you remember there was this guy who got transferred from one of the French clubs and was going to play in Cardiff, and the plane that was carrying him fell, I think, to the British Channel. Right. And after that, I think either at the mortuary, the morgue or somewhere, somebody took the picture of the body, and together with the girlfriend, it started circulating. They were prosecuted.
Right.
Yeah, it should be. Why is the Ghana's outside of the world would want to do human things?
Sometimes we need to put our feet down to say, hey, the law is there. Let's use it. And until we come to that realization, that's why I am an advocate of law being taught even at JSS.
Okay.
So that when that is done and the society knows that this is how the law is.
Awakened.
Yes, they are awakened. Lawyers will get more money. That you mess up with me, I'm calling my lawyer. I mean, and we'll get more money. But if we are rather,
are you saying you don't have more money now?
We don't have money.
No, you.
No, I don't have money. Lawyers,
okay.
the law profession is the myth is so much. I mean, let's not go there. What I want to say is that yes. What I want to say is that some of these
it's like the pastors.
I wish I'll be a pastor before I die, though.
We wish you well.
Yes, I want to be a pastor.
You'll be a father of the faith.
Yes, I want to be a pastor before I die. But going forward, I really think that we should be disciplined in certain things. And if the laws are there for them to be used, let us use them. You see, politicians have become so scared of losing vote that to do the right thing, they don't want to do. But there are other constituents that are waiting for you to do the right thing so that they also vote for you. I believe there are a group of people who say, me, I'll only vote for you if you do the right thing. And those people, sometimes they don't vote because they don't know who is going to do the right thing. But they will see this one to say, hey, the way he's behaving, I believe he will do well. Then they will vote for him. In 2008, when I was listening to Akufo-Addo, I'm like, I'm an NDC guy. But the way this guy talks,
Sunrise.
But at the stage, I say maybe it's just oratory, nothing more. And I was vindicated years down the line.
No action, Stockholm.
No, yes. No, you see. So there are some supporters, some delegates, some constituents, some voters who are thinking, do the right thing for me to vote for you. So I don't think politicians should be scared to apply the law. If the law is not good, let's take it off our books. And we know that law does not exist. For example, let me digress. You go from here to Aplau, the moment you cross the border, every motor rider has a helmet.
That's correct.
Even those they carry, they all wear helmets.
When I went to Ketusat, I crossed over the border.
Just cross. Don't even go far.
That point there where the small metal is that demarcates.
Yes.
As soon as I crossed there, the motorbike I saw, everybody.
All of them had helmets.
And some of them were riding all the way from the Ketusat area. They went, but closer to the border, they wear the helmets.
Yes. But come back in, cross the metal back to Aplau, and some are carrying even 4. None of them is wearing helmet. You see, so there's a bit of discipline when you cross the border. I've been to Rwanda several times. I've stayed there, worked there.
Right.
Now, everybody has 2 helmets. All those who are riding. And when you get to the traffic lights, you will think that you have a crowd of Okada riders ahead of all the cars. They all stop. Even though they complain that they are a nuisance, their nuisance is different from or far better than our nuisance here.
Same. It used to be same in northern Ghana. Now they are worse.
It boils down to one thing: indiscipline. So when the law is there, let's apply it. That is my take on this. So the MPP leaders who have issued that statement, I beg them, they should bow their heads in shame, and they should not issue such statement when we are all mourning now. And I think a few days after the crash, there was a TikTok column when somebody said something jollof, Ghana jollof or Mama jollof. And she was like, it is Sami Jeffy that...
She lives outside. She lives in the UK.
She lives outside.
I think, yeah.
Oh, I thought when we travel, things change a bit, but I'm unfortunate. I thought she's somewhere here.
No.
Nah, and I couldn't listen to that more than 10 seconds because it was too vulgar, too gross. I mean, how are you wishing death for people today when everybody is mourning that? So I think that this should be a lesson. Someone should be used as scapegoat. Then all of us will sit back to say, hey, don't do it. Remember when Rawlings motorcade was crossed in Ashaman those days, I think just before the 2000 election or 96 election?
Yeah, 96.
The 96, yes. Maybe the story you didn't follow through to the end.
No, I didn't follow to the end.
Maybe you were a bit young. You had other things doing.
I was just being a boy.
Yes, you were just being a boy.
But my father, I was privileged to have read the newspapers like The Voice,
exactly,
Free Press, and all of. My dad used to buy them, so I'd read. And
then a few days after that incident, on one of these roads, somebody crossed the convoy. The first people who saw it said, "You are dead," because somebody crossed that motorcade, and it led to the death of 2 soldiers.
Right.
Then there's another, and you are crossing and you are caught. The law, you are dead.
You be kidnapped.
Yes, you are dead. You see. So I'm not saying that people should die as a result, but in situations where we are all mourning as a result of something, don't come and add salt to the injury.
Do you think that punishing these 2 and maybe some other persons who maybe will be arrested later would stop people from going onto social media, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, to repeat similar things?
It will not stop, but it will make you ask questions. That, do I have to do it? Yes. And of course, you must expect that someone would like to do it to be arrested.
Okay.
So that the person becomes popular. But you know that lady who had an issue with the bank, the finance.
Right.
Yes.
Malopia, the Momo thing, was it a Momo?
No, the lady who asked that the man should.
Yes.
Should pay for her accommodation or something.
And then she was picked up for contempt.
Yes.
Right.
You know she's calm now.
Yes, she's very calm.
Yes. She might have learned something from the prison. Yes. You know that Captain Polo has been calm.
Yes.
So sometimes in life, certain things need to jostle you for you to become. So the laws don't necessarily remove crime. They cannot. As we are as human beings, they cannot. But they bring it down. They're able to treat the cause and they're able to prevent some crimes from happening. So it will not stop people, but it will make more and more people to stop and think again that, do we really need to do this before they do it? Yeah.
So it calms you.
Yes.
Okay. Doc, your closing thoughts as we wrap up.
As Ghanaians, we should be aware if we have forgotten that we have values. We must value people. We must be there for each and every one. Whatever you want to met out to the other, ask yourself, when it is being done to me, will I freely accept it? So the Bible says in Mark 6:38, the measurement you give to your brother will be the same measurement that will be meted out to you. So we should value ourselves and have that moral upright and concerning our nation, and we should hold people in high esteem. We have only Ghana. Currently our president is His Excellency Mahama, John Dramani Mahama. If you don't even agree with him, he is your president.
Right.
And so you have to comply. And there are laws governing our nation and every institution we find ourselves in. Let us comply, and then we'll have a good cause to live as Ghanaians, and we'll all be happy. And at the end of the day, we won't have any cause to be mourning and be lamenting that things are not right and things are not going well. And then finally, to the bereaved family, once again, we say, take heart, the Lord knows best.
So this is just an excerpt of the expletives and the things that they said. Counsel, your closing thought.
Well, we might not have total closure on Friday, but Friday will bring us some form of closure.
Right.
I am grateful that the president has said that some trust will be established to cater for the children of those who have lost their lives, their education. I pray that when that is made available, all of us will put something in the kitty for them. I pray that we are losing our Ghanaianness. Now, when you live here and you fall, everybody will move their mobile phone to take picture of you.
Communal
instead
spirit
of
is
somebody
gone.
going to help you on your feet. I pray that comes back. And as long as we are human, we must know that we don't know what will happen to us next. Let us, in these solemn moments, think about the bereaved family.
Right.
But there's no better way. I heard people saying that stopping Galamsey will be the best way to honor the memory of Dr. Amani Boama and the rest. But I think that retooling and re-equipping the military and making them modern will be a very big legacy that we will do. You know that currently we only have one helicopter for the whole of Ghana Armed Forces.
Yes, we have only one
helicopter.
One helicopter.
Until the accident, they were operating at 30% of their capacity. Now with the accident, definitely the number.
So this is what Franklin Kujo wrote. It's a summary of the state of our Air Force. 4 Mi-17 helicopters acquired in 2013, only one is flying. 3 CASA 295 troop transport planes acquired in 2013 and 2015, only one is flying. 4 Z9 helicopters acquired in 2015, only one is flying, and that's what we crashed. Broken aircraft are cannibalized to keep others flying. But it must be emphasized that some current politicians strongly oppose the purchase of new aircraft, not only for political point scoring, but due to the murky nature of the contracts and procurement. So where did all the 13 billion euros we borrowed go? And this is from the Armed Forces Security Council report.
Yes, we borrowed money we paid Ajayi so much money to do design for a national cathedral. We put 97 million either Ghana cedis or dollars into a hole. I mean, when you pay for a hole, the hole must be a very good hole. You don't pay 97 million. If you are drilling borehole and you pay such amount for that borehole, it must be a very good borehole. If it is a swimming pool hole, it must be a good hole. But for us, this is where we need to prioritize. So we need to retool, re-equip. And again, please let the Ghana Armed Forces also be proactive. Let them be coming forward. Let the image you have about the army is that when they come here, everybody must fear.
Yes.
Beyond that, I mean, we have engineers regiment.
Yes, 48, 49.
They are there. Yeah. I mean, when was the last time they constructed a road?
The bridge on the Labadi,
yes, the bridge.
Yes, in front of the military academy.
GHQ, yes.
Yes. I mean, when was the last time? And you go to certain countries, the army is developing things, softwares.
But if you have not called them, they cannot come and do. Because when we had COVID and we're looking for the infectious disease center, the army built it in record time. You remember?
So you mean we should be? That is why I'm saying that.
But if you don't give them the contract and you go and give the contract to private people who take the money and not do the work,
they should be proactive to go and look for the contract too.
No, you will give them the contract if you know they can do the work, but you will give it to your cronies because there's some 15% that somebody will get.
Yeah.
If you give the money to the army, can you go and ask for 15%?
You cannot.
You will not return.
That is what happens at the ministries. 10% by the
Helen, if you go and give
executive
soldier contract, would you go there and say you want 15%? You will not return.
You may never know. Maybe you might even get 20%. You may never know.
But as to whether you return with the money, that's the
try
problem.
It first and see.
Lawyer Theophilus Kojo Jimeka Jr. Today is his birthday. He's a member of the NDC's communication team. He's also a private legal practitioner. Happy birthday to you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Live long. And also
much.
Dr. Hamilton JP joined us here as well. Doc, thank you very much indeed for your time. We're grateful.
Thank you.
Great. It's time to check out of the studio.